Shut up and sit down.
We are back inside Wisconsin, the Wisconsin weather episode. I got to be honest, guys, this is going to be one of my favorites because I'm a weather nerd just like you guys. All right, speaking of weather nerds and weather terms, there are some over the years that I would imagine you are so sick of hearing or so sick of having to explain. I wrote a few down that I think might push your buttons, and I'm curious to know your feedback. Here's the first one. An inch of rain equals 12 inches of snow. I'm so glad it was rain instead. That's crap, right?
Well, it doesn't usually work out to the ratio that's thrown out there. And it's always, you get it every time, especially you get to December and you get rain. Man, how much snow would we have gotten from that rain if it would have been snow? And the ratio depends on so many different things that are happening in the atmosphere. So the general rule is 1 inch of rain equals 10 inches of snow, but it varies so greatly. It can have it can be 5 inches of snow, or it can be 25 inches of snow.
I get a kick out of it when you guys forecast a 30% chance of rain. And Luke and I have talked about this in the past. If you put out there that there's 30% chance and it rains, you're screwed. But if you put out 90% and it doesn't rain, you're also screwed. What is up with the percentages in forecasting of rain and snow and all this stuff?
Well, don't use those. That's the biggest thing. Here's the deal. This is why you don't use, and if this goes out and some other meteorologist colleagues see this and they do use precipitation chances, go for it. You do you. I'm not. Because here's the reason why. You can get a 30% chance of rain, right, and get absolutely poured on. You can also have a 60% chance of rain and nothing happens. What's the benefit to the viewer? And so precipitation probabilities were really meant for us. They were meant for Mark and I and the other operational meteorologists to consult and formulate a forecast from. Now they're on your app. They're every hour, every half hour, however your app breaks it up, down to the minute on the arrival, all of this stuff. Again, we're kind of a little ahead of the game. But if you want the answer, what does a 30% chance of rain mean? By definition, it means for a certain location, on 100 days like that day, it rained on 30 of them. That's what it means. It's model output statistics, this idea of confidence times, what is it, Mark? Confidence times A and all.
Yeah, here's what it is. Nobody knows what the hell it means. They don't know what it means. So I don't use it. And again, just like you said, there are some meteorologists that insist on using it. I am not one. I don't like to put a 20% chance on something because then if you do that, people are like, oh, it's not going to rain. I'm fine.
Right.
And that's why I use terms as opposed to percentages.
This thing so screwed you guys. This thing completely screwed you because there's always percentages on this stupid thing.
The biggest lesson that I was taught, there's probably 3 or 4 big ones, but from John Milan back in the late 90s, early 2000s, he'd say, Luke, just tell the people what you think is going to happen and own it. Don't start hedging everything with this probability and that probability. Just tell your viewers, hey, you know what? Tomorrow afternoon, there could be a few rain showers, especially from here to here. If you have confidence to divide up your viewing area, maybe they're everywhere. Just tell the people what you think is going to happen in a fun, easy, entertaining way. And that's really when we show up to work every day, that's our job. No matter if we're feeling down or up or whatever, you got to turn it on when you get that mic light on.
Okay, we're done. Luke put a nice bow on it. Thanks, guys.
Just a few more, I promise. Then you're out of here.
Just kidding.
I know, yeah. All right, here's one more. Polar vortex. When that came out, I swear everybody has now used it in their own terminology ever since. What is a polar vortex for real?
It is a real thing. I mean, it's been around forever, for as long as we know. It's just taken on common nomenclature in the weather world. Here's what happened. It got taken, somebody saw it in what was written, probably a forecast discussion by the Weather Service. That is now readily available to many people, including news directors or producers, especially on a network program. The network sees that, they're like, oh, that sounds sexy. we're going to put that on. And then it just takes over.
All right, guys, just a few more. You've been gracious with your time. I'm really grateful. Thanks for doing this. You guys have been long time and, in Luke's case, lifelong Wisconsin residents. What's your favorite part of the state? Because let's be honest, we live in a gem.
The southern end of the Bay of Green Bay, anytime in the summer months when the wind isn't strong. Preferably on a boat that floats.
Yeah, you're a big water guy. Mark?
This is such a hard question. I mean, really, this is a hard question. There's so many great areas. I mean, I live in one of the great areas. I live close to Lake Michigan. There's so many great hiking trails. And although my daughter now goes to school over at Winona State, and that part around La Crosse area, that driftless area, I'm amazed at how beautiful that is over there. I didn't know that much about it, but since I've gone to that area more and more, I find that pretty awesome. I'm going to give you two. I can't give you an answer. There's just too many great areas. How many places up north can you go? The Apostle Islands are unbelievable. I mean, the whole Bayfield area, you just go on and on.
Right. Yeah. There you can't have a. You tell me, Trevor, what's your favorite spot? You think you can narrow it down?
Yeah, way to throw it back at him, Sam.
Thanks. I got to be honest, it never gets old driving past Lambeau, guys. It's been incredible. All right. Hey, we talk a lot about sports in Inside Wisconsin, and by the time this episode airs, it will have already been the start of training camp. Yes or no, is Aaron Rodgers showing up?
My prediction is yes. Let's hope my prediction is correct.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. I'm not even doubting it. He will be in Green Bay.
Wow. All right, last one. And maybe this is going to be a tough one too, but part of what you guys love in your job here in Wisconsin is the seasons. What's your favorite season?
This is another one. I was asking what's my favorite child out of my three. I mean, I love them all. Winter, I still love. It just takes a little too long here. Spring, where I live, because I live very close to Lake Michigan, is not my favorite season because it's cold too long. I think autumn has probably been my favorite ever since I've lived here.
Yeah, same. Luke?
Yeah, summer and fall. I mean, because some years you can actually get summer to bleed into fall quite a bit. You can. I remember one year we were carving pumpkins and it was like 80. There's such a variance in that season, and it's usually pretty temperate. It's not really extreme. I would say summer into fall is my favorite.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, hey, I see the set lights turning on Channel 12, and there's people moving around at Channel 5, which means the news is approaching. We have spent longer than you guys agreed to, and I'm really grateful for it. Let me just leave you with this. Mark, I joked earlier that you showed up for one of my classes back at Johnson Creek High School, and I've sat in the studio and watched Luke do his job. I wanted to be a TV meteorologist, so I know you guys didn't. I did, and then I found out you had to go through Calc 3, and I bounced as fast as I could. But I love the broadcast side of what you guys do, and really just don't take it for granted. So thanks, even when you're wrong. We're just grateful for what you're doing, and thanks for your time with us on Inside Wisconsin.
Thank you.
Got it, buddy.
Shut up and sit down.